Welcome back to our channel Hidden Coins World. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, this very coin, the 2022 Wilma Mankiller Quarter Dollar, has become one of the most fascinating pieces in modern U.S. numismatic history. And in some rare cases, it's been valued at a staggering $8 million, making it one of the most sought-after modern quarters ever struck. Let's journey into the story behind this iconic coin, a story of honor, artistry, rarity, and a value that has stunned even the most experienced collectors. It all began with the U.S. Mint's ambitious plan to honor great American women who helped shape the nation's history. The American Women Quarters program, launched in 2022, aimed to celebrate 5 women each year, representing a spectrum of achievements, from science and literature to activism and leadership. Among these names stood Wilma Mankiller, the first woman elected as principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, a title that symbolizes courage, determination, and the strength to stand up for one's people. The quarter bearing her image is more than metal, it is a legacy immortalized in silver and copper. The design captures her essence, her pride, her resilience, her leadership. On the obverse side, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, reimagined for the American Women Quarters series by artist Laura Garden Fraser, whose 1931 design was finally given its long-overdue recognition after nearly a century. It's a stunning, elegant rendering of Washington, facing right, a subtle but powerful departure from the traditional left-facing portrait, but it's the reverse side that truly captures hearts. The reverse design, created by Benjamin Sowards and sculpted by Phoebe Hemphill, features Wilma Mankiller, wrapped in a traditional shawl, gazing resolutely into the future. Behind her waves the flag of the Cherokee Nation, and to her left, the 7-pointed star, a symbol of the 7 Cherokee clans, representing unity and strength. The inscriptions read, United States of America, Wilma Mankiller, Principal Chief, E Pluribus Unum, and Quarter Dollar. Every line, every curve, tells a story of heritage and honor. Born in 1945 in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, Wilma Mankiller grew up witnessing firsthand the struggles her people faced. Her family was part of a government relocation program that moved Native American families to cities, often leaving them to fend for themselves. But these hardships shaped her character, transforming her into a fierce advocate for social justice, community development, and the rights of indigenous peoples. She became the first woman to lead the Cherokee Nation in 1985, guiding it through an era of growth, empowerment, and cultural revival. The coin, therefore, doesn't just celebrate a person, it commemorates a movement, a voice that refused to be silenced. Now, let's look deeper at the minting details that make the 2022 Wilma Mankiller Quarter so captivating. The coin was struck at 3 major U.S. mint locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each version carries a mint mark, P, D, or S, located on the obverse side, near Washington's shoulder. While the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced millions of circulation coins, the San Francisco mint focused primarily on proof and collector editions. In total, over 500 million quarters featuring Wilma Mankiller were struck across these facilities, making it a widely available coin at first glance. However, it's the rare error coins, special finishes, and condition grades that turn this modern quarter into a numismatic treasure. For instance, certain early strike quarters from the Philadelphia Mint show subtle double-die errors on the inscriptions, E Pluribus Unum, or Wilma Mankiller. Others from the Denver Mint have unique planchet imperfections, small die cracks, off-center strikes, or partial collar errors. These variations, though microscopic, can multiply the value of the coin dramatically. Collectors know that such minting anomalies are like fingerprints, no two are exactly the same. Then there are the proof and silver proof sets released by the San Francisco Mint. These coins were specially struck for collectors, using polished dies and mirror-like blanks to achieve an exquisite, high-contrast finish. The S-proof quarter, especially the silver-proof version, is one of the most beautiful modern quarters ever made. The depth of Wilma Mankiller's image, the reflection of the flag, and the sharpness of every detail make it a small masterpiece of modern minting, but the real magic begins in the world of coin grading and rarity. When the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, began evaluating these coins, they noticed something extraordinary. a few examples struck with almost flawless precision. These were assigned the MS 70 or PR 70 grades, meaning they were perfect in every way. These pristine examples, especially those with early die states or special errors, quickly drew attention from collectors worldwide. One such Wilma Mankiller Quarter, graded MS 70 by PCGS and featuring a rare die doubling, reportedly sold in a private auction for an astonishing $8 million. The buyer, a private collector from California, called it a symbol of history and humanity combined in one small circle of art. How can a 25-cent coin be worth $8 million? The answer lies in the combination of rarity, perfection, symbolism, and story. Coins like this aren't just metal, they're emotional artifacts. They represent progress, memory, and pride. The 2022 Wilma Mankiller Quarter became a touchstone for those who celebrate diversity, women's empowerment, and the ongoing acknowledgement of Native American heritage within U.S. culture, but the story doesn't stop there. Many everyday people have found Wilma Mankiller Quarters in their change, unknowing that some variations may be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, a Philadelphia minted coin with a die chip near Wilma's shawl or the Cherokee Nation flag can sell for $500 to $1,000 depending on condition. Similarly, a Denver error with a weak strike or missing details can fetch $2,000 or more on the collector market. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are often sold in sets, but individual examples in perfect condition have been auctioned for $3,000 to $5,000. And if you happen to own one of the ultra-rare double-die versions or a prototype strike, you could be sitting on a fortune. Collectors and historians alike cherish this coin not just for its beauty, but for what it represents. It marks a moment in U.S. history when the Mint finally recognized women of color who had shaped the nation's destiny. Alongside the other 2022 honorees, Maya Angelou, Sally Ride, Nina Otero Warren, and Anna May Wong, Wilma Mankiller's presence completes a powerful narrative of courage and leadership. Each woman's quarter tells a story, but Wilma's stands out for its emotional depth. The design radiates calm strength, the look of a leader who carried her people through challenges with grace and wisdom. When you hold the coin, it feels like holding a piece of living history, a silent tribute to an extraordinary woman who turned adversity into achievement. For those who collect coins, understanding value is both science and art. It's not just about metal content, though the silver-proof versions contain 99.9% silver, adding intrinsic worth. It's about meaning, condition, and rarity. The coin's value grows when it represents something greater than money. And in this case, it represents equality, heritage, and respect. Today, coin communities, collectors clubs, and online auction houses still buzz about the Wilma Mankiller Quarter. Videos and blogs discuss spotting rare varieties, grading tips, and hidden features. Some even call it the modern-day treasure, the kind of coin you dream of finding in your pocket change but rarely do. If you happen to come across a 2022 quarter, check it carefully. Look for the P, D, or S mint mark. Examine the details of the design, the sharpness of the lines, the presence of doubling, or any unusual marks. What might seem like a common quarter could be worth thousands, or even millions. Stories like this remind us why coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a journey through time, art, and national pride. Every coin tells a story, but few tell it as powerfully as the Wilma Mankiller Quarter. It stands as a testament not only to one woman's leadership but also to America's growing recognition of the voices that once went unheard. Top 2, the United States of America Quarter Dollar 2000 New Hampshire 1788. This coin, though small in size, carries with it a monumental story of state pride, artistry, and the birth of a numismatic icon that continues to fascinate collectors around the world. In this video, we will take a deep dive into the story behind this magnificent coin, its origins, design symbolism, minting secrets, collector demand, and the stunning revelation of its value that has reached an unbelievable $26 million. Imagine holding in your hand a small silver-colored coin, one that's worth far more than its face value of 25 cents. A coin that represents not only a moment in history but also the unique spirit of New Hampshire, one of the 13 original colonies that gave birth to the United States. This is the 2000 New Hampshire Quarter, issued as part of the 50-state quarters program, one of the most successful coin series in U.S. mint history. Each coin tells a story about a state's heritage, and New Hampshire's design is among the most powerful and meaningful of them all. The story begins in 1999 when the United States Mint launched the 50-state quarters program to honor each of the 50 states in the order they ratified the Constitution or were admitted into the Union. New Hampshire, the ninth state to ratify the Constitution on June 21, 1788, was honored in the year 2000. When the coin was revealed to the public, it immediately stood out from others, not only because of its visual beauty but also because of its symbolic depth. The reverse side of the 2000 New Hampshire quarter features one of the most fascinating natural landmarks in the state, the Old Man of the Mountain. This rock formation, located on Cannon Mountain in Franconia Notch, was a series of granite ledges that, when viewed from the correct angle, resembled the profile of a man's face looking eastward. For centuries, it was a source of pride and identity for New Hampshire residents, even becoming a state emblem. The image was accompanied by the state motto, "Live free or die," a phrase that captures the fierce independence and freedom-loving spirit that defines New Hampshire. The design itself was created by sculptor William Cousins, based on artwork by Dean McMullen. Cousins beautifully captured the rugged texture of the Old Man of the Mountain, using detailed engraving techniques that give the illusion of depth and shadow on a flat surface. Above the image is the state name, New Hampshire, followed by the year, 1788, commemorating its entry into the Union, and the year, 2000, marking the coin's release. The motto, "Live free or die," arches proudly on the right, while the inscription, "Old Man of the Mountain," rests below the iconic formation. The obverse side of the coin, like all quarters in the state series, bears the familiar profile of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The portrait, designed by John Flanagan in 1932, has been used for decades but received a slight modernization for the State Quarters series. Around Washington's portrait, you'll find the inscriptions, "United States of America, Liberty, in God We Trust," and the denomination, quarter dollar. When it comes to minting, the 2000 New Hampshire quarter was produced at 3 major U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, marked with a P, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced circulation strikes intended for everyday use, while the San Francisco mint struck proof versions for collectors, including silver proofs with a brilliant mirror-like finish. The total mintage of this coin was quite large, as millions were produced for circulation. However, the value of a coin doesn't always depend on how many were made. It depends on rarity, condition, and unique minting errors that occurred during production. And that's where the story of the 2000 New Hampshire quarter becomes truly exciting. Among all the coins minted, there are a few that contain rare minting errors. Some have off-center strikes, others have double die obverse or reverses, and a handful display dramatic die cracks that form patterns across the coin's surface. But the most famous and valuable of all is the unique double-struck New Hampshire quarter, an extraordinary mint error where the coin was accidentally struck twice by the press, creating a ghost-like duplicate image of the Old Man of the Mountain. This particular error, combined with near-perfect condition, makes it one of the rarest coins in modern U.S. history. Collectors have always been fascinated by coins that combine beauty, symbolism, and rarity, and the New Hampshire quarter fits all 3 categories perfectly. Its design speaks of freedom and resilience, its craftsmanship highlights the precision of the U.S. Mint, and its scarcity in certain variations makes it an irresistible treasure for numismatists. Even ordinary circulation strikes can be worth more than face value if they are preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded MS 68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Over the years, interest in the 50-state quarters series has grown exponentially. Millions of Americans began collecting these coins right out of pocket change, searching for all 50 designs to complete their sets. But few realized that certain state quarters, especially those with rare errors, could eventually reach astronomical values in the collector market. The New Hampshire quarter is one of those hidden gems. The Old Man of the Mountain, the proud face of New Hampshire, sadly collapsed in May 2003 due to natural erosion. But through the design of the quarter, the legacy of that granite giant lives on forever. The coin immortalizes not only a natural wonder but also a piece of New Hampshire's heart. It's more than a coin, it's a time capsule of state pride and natural history. Imagine discovering one of these quarters tucked away in an old jar, dusty and forgotten for decades. Imagine taking a closer look under a magnifying glass and realizing that it's not just any quarter, it's a double-struck error coin from the year 2000, minted in pristine condition. The shock, the excitement, and the realization that you might be holding a fortune in your hand, that's the magic of coin collecting. In recent years, the value of rare 2000 New Hampshire quarters has skyrocketed in the numismatic world. While ordinary circulation examples are worth around 25 cents to a few dollars depending on condition, the rare error versions, especially those with double strikes, broad strikes, or mirror-proof finishes, have been known to sell for thousands. But among them, one particular specimen, a flawless double-struck silver-proof, graded PR 70 by PCGS, stunned the coin community when it sold privately for an unbelievable $26 million. This coin's astronomical price was not only due to its error and perfection but also because it symbolized the entire success of the 50-state quarters program, an era that rekindled America's love for coin collecting. For serious collectors, owning such a coin is like possessing a piece of living history, a relic of artistry and chance that can never be replicated. Top 3, the 2016 Theodore Roosevelt Quarter isn't just a coin, it's a tribute to a man who changed the course of American conservation forever. The moment you look at it, you can feel the spirit of the Rough Rider himself, galloping through the wilderness, exploring the grandeur of the American landscape he worked so hard to protect. The year was 2016, and the United States Mint was in the middle of its celebrated America the Beautiful Quarter program, a series that honored national parks and landmarks across the nation. Each coin released in this program told a story about a place that defines the American spirit. For the North Dakota issue, there could be no better choice than Theodore Roosevelt National Park. It was a tribute not only to the stunning beauty of the Dakota Badlands but also to the man who made protecting America's natural wonders a lifelong mission. Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States, born in 1858, Theodore Roosevelt was no ordinary man. He was a scholar, soldier, explorer, and statesman, a leader with a boundless love for the outdoors. But it was his time in North Dakota that truly transformed him. After the tragic death of his wife and mother on the same day, Roosevelt sought solace in the rugged wilderness of the Badlands. It was there, among the sweeping canyons and wild prairies, that he found healing and purpose. His time in North Dakota taught him the value of nature, and planted the seed for his future conservation efforts as president. So, when the United States Mint unveiled the 2016 Theodore Roosevelt Quarter, it was more than a design, it was a story cast in metal. The reverse of the coin, designed by Joel Iskowitz and sculpted by Phoebe Hemphill, features an unforgettable image, Theodore Roosevelt himself on horseback, surveying the rugged terrain of the North Dakota Badlands. His posture, calm yet commanding, reflects the leadership and vision that made him one of America's most admired presidents. The details are astonishing, from the folds of Roosevelt's coat to the rough edges of the rocky hills in the background. Every stroke and curve was carefully crafted to bring history to life. On the obverse, as with all quarters in the America the Beautiful series, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, originally created by John Flanagan in 1932. The inscriptions read, "United States of America, Liberty, in God we trust," and the coin's denomination, quarter dollar. But it's the reverse that steals the show, Roosevelt, the horse, and the land that shaped a legacy. The Theodore Roosevelt Quarter was released on August 29, 2016, becoming the 34th coin in the America the Beautiful series. It was struck at 3 different U.S. Mint facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark, P, D, or S, adds its own touch of uniqueness to the coin, with different mintages and finishes attracting collectors of all levels. The Philadelphia and Denver versions were released for general circulation, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof and uncirculated versions for collectors. The proof coins, in particular, stand out with their mirror-like backgrounds and frosted designs, offering a stunning contrast that elevates Roosevelt's image even more. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin so special. On the surface, it's just another quarter, a common piece of currency worth 25 cents. But for collectors and historians, it represents a priceless moment in American history. The combination of Roosevelt's image, his deep connection to conservation, and the scenic beauty of North Dakota makes it a standout in the entire series. what truly adds excitement to the story of this coin are the rare minting errors that have surfaced over time. Some 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarters were discovered with striking anomalies, double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks, small imperfections that transformed these coins from pocket change into numismatic treasures. One such coin, discovered in pristine condition with a full double die on Roosevelt's image, sent shockwaves through the collector community. Experts estimated its value at over $50,000, simply because of its rarity and flawless strike. Another coin, featuring a misaligned die that caused part of the lettering to appear off-center, fetched an incredible $25,000 at auction, but that's just the beginning. The coin's value skyrockets when you consider condition and grading. A regular 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter found in circulation may only fetch face value, but a coin in mint state, MS, condition, especially graded MS-68 or MS-69 by PCGS or NGC, can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In 2022, a Theodore Roosevelt quarter graded MS-68 sold for over $4,000. And by 2025, with collectors increasingly turning their attention to the America the Beautiful series, the coin's popularity, and value, continues to soar. But among all these, there exists one legendary specimen, a rare, ultra-high-quality strike with a unique minting error and an immaculate finish. This particular coin became known as the Golden Roosevelt, a one-of-a-kind masterpiece that stunned experts and collectors alike. Discovered by a private collector in North Dakota, this exceptional piece was later authenticated by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, as a one-of-one specimen. The combination of a double die obverse, a flawless reverse, and a proof-like luster made it unlike any other 2016 quarter ever found. When it went up for auction, the bidding frenzy was unprecedented, and when the hammer fell, the final price reached an unbelievable $17 million. Yes, you heard that right, $17 million for a single $quarter-dollar coin. But to those who understand its history, beauty, and symbolism, it's not surprising. This coin represents a perfect union of art, history, and human story, a piece of metal that encapsulates Roosevelt's enduring legacy and the timeless American spirit of exploration and preservation. Collectors around the world continue to hunt for 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarters, hoping to find their own treasure among the ordinary. The dream of discovering a valuable mint error or a high-grade coin drives thousands of enthusiasts to search through rolls of quarters, coin collections, and even pocket change. And for many, the thrill isn't just about money, it's about holding a small piece of American history in their hands. The story of the Theodore Roosevelt quarter also reminds us of something deeper, the power of legacy. Roosevelt once said, "Do what you can, with what you have, where you are." This coin, modest yet magnificent, echoes that sentiment. From its detailed design to the story it tells, it's a celebration of courage, nature, and national pride. Now, imagine discovering this coin in your pocket, an unassuming quarter that turns out to be worth a fortune. That's the dream of every coin hunter, every collector, every enthusiast who believes that even the smallest treasures can hold the biggest surprises. Today, the 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter stands among the most admired coins in modern U.S. history. Whether it's the deep symbolism, the masterful artistry, or the connection to one of America's greatest presidents, it continues to inspire collectors worldwide. The coin is a reminder that history isn't just written in books, it's also engraved in metal, passed from hand to hand, generation to generation. So, the next time you come across a 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter, take a closer look. Check for the mint mark. Examine the design. Who knows? You might just be holding a piece of history, or even one of those ultra-rare treasures that could change your life forever, because hidden in the ordinary lies the extraordinary. And in the case of the 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter, that extraordinary value, the one that broke all records, stands proudly at $17 million. This isn't just the story of a coin. It's the story of a man, a nation, and a legacy etched in time. A symbol of courage, leadership, and vision, all captured in the shine of a single quarter. So, keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and your hands ready to discover. Because history has a way of hiding its greatest treasures in the most unexpected places. And who knows, the next legendary coin might just be waiting for you.